Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Color with Donna in Coloritaville. And today's video, which will be a color and chat in lovely dresses, Grayscale by Ava Brown. I just received this book in the mail yesterday for review from Ava Brown. So thank you so much for sending this book to me. And I'm just going to do a flip through and then we'll do our color and chat. For those of you who are maybe looking for a flip through of the book, to see if it's something you may be interested in. Of course, you have your color test pages, and then you go into the images. There are 30 images in the book, and you get duplicate images, so 60 total, 30 unique. And at the very back of the book with Ava Brown, there is always a link where you can get a free download of a PDF version. So you'll have a permanent copy that you can print out on your own at any time that you need to, if you color the book completely and want to recolor images, or if you mess up, you'll have extra images on file. And I think that's a great thing. I always keep, anytime I have like a free PDF of a book, I do definitely keep the copy in my computer in case I ever need to reference that or anything. And yeah, I definitely prefer images in actual books, but sometimes you may want a different type of paper or something like that. So it's always nice to have those PDFs, and I think that's a great thing. These are printed with CreateSpace, Amazon Publishing, so it is your typical Amazon paper, but I personally don't have a problem working with it at all, especially if you're using markers. Markers, in my opinion, work fairly well on this paper, especially if you're not going to be doing a lot of blending with the markers. And then here is where the duplicate pages start. And then, as I mentioned, if you go to the very back, you'll have the page here that tells you how to sign up for the newsletter and also a link to access the file. All right, so that is Lovely Dresses Grayscale by Ava Brown. And I'm going to work on this image here today. As I said, I just received this in the mail, so I need to work this binding out a little bit so the book will lay flat for me while I color, or at least as flat as possible. I always kind of do that to my books to get them ready to be colored. And I've got my Spree 128 markers here with me on my desk. All right, so this is the image. Let me put my blotter page in so we won't have any bleed through issues. And let's see. I think I'll start with the roses, and let's see. How about, I think let's do them coral red, because I think that'll allow for the grayscale to definitely show through. And that's what I really like about grayscale, is that you can color, you can just straight color over grayscale, and it tends to look wonderful. And it looks like you put a lot more work into like blending and shading and things like that, when all you've really done is just straight color. So I definitely was happy when Ava Brown started offering grayscale images to their books, because I really do enjoy these grayscales. They work really nice. So how is everyone doing today? I hope your weekend was spectacular. It is Tuesday, and when I finish this color and chat, I will be uploading it straight up to YouTube. So this will be out Tuesday afternoon. So I hope your week is off to an amazing start. Also, my week's going fairly well. We did go and look at the camper yesterday. Yay. And we did decide to buy it. So in the coming weeks, we'll be bringing it home here to the house and then preparing to move it over to our property. So there will be a time probably, Gary says probably by summer is when we'll be moving over to the property. So there'll definitely be some time there that I probably will not be able to make any videos because we'll be in the process of moving things and getting things ready and set up. So I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on how things are going with that. But I'm super excited to be starting a new chapter in our lives, moving towards getting our home built and having my own space again is going to be amazing. It's going to be challenging to live in the camper for a while, but you know, sometimes we just gotta do what we gotta do to get to where we want to be, you know? So I was really happy to finally be able to see it and, you know, make that decision. It's a fairly, I mean, it's a 2008, I believe, or 2009 camper, but it's still got a lot of life left in it. And I think that it'll be fine. I think my ideas about decorating, though, probably aren't going to work based off of the way it's kind of made, and it already kind of has its own little color scheme and things going. So don't know that I'll be able to do what I had first planned, but you know what? That's okay. It doesn't look, hopefully we won't be living in it for a long period of time. And I'll hopefully will soon be able to get, you know, be in my own home, which will be really nice. So, okay, let's do 47. I think that's grass green. And I'm just going to do this hedge here with that. The one thing about Grayscale is, and I know I've mentioned this before to you guys when I've colored it, is just making sure that you're picking colors that, you know, if you're wanting to just straight color for those colors, or for the Grayscale to actually show through and just straight color, you just need to make sure you're choosing colors that are light enough that the Grayscale can show through your marker, the color that you choose. So that is the main thing when doing the Grayscale. Okay, so see, as this dries, it's coming through so you can see the shadows and things that were behind the color. So that is the main, most important thing if you're wanting to color Grayscale to do, is just to make sure that your color's lighter, or light enough that the Grayscale will show through. lately the books that I ordered from overseas have finally started coming in. I think I've only got about 3 left that needs to get here. So that's exciting. Also, you'll be seeing those books a good bit, like with my end of the month coloring this month, because I've started kind of coloring in them a little. And then we're going to have a month-long color along using those books next month. And the announcement hopefully will be out soon about that. I'm super excited for that one. And of course, we're still into Mystical 2021, which is the Karen E. Meyer books. And we'll be coloring in those more as the month progresses also. I think I want to, like I told you guys in the last color and chat, I think I want to start on the Would You Rather little game thing. Also, I think that'll be a lot of fun. Something to do while we color and chit chat with each other. Okay, it's coming along nicely there. I found a really cool kitchen thing yesterday. It's like the Power XL. It's a grill. It does all kinds of things. It's a grill, a slow cooker, a fryer, an air fryer. It's got all kinds of things. I think when we move into the camper, I'm going to buy one of those. I think that they will work. I think it would work really well for cooking, because the camper has this is 42. The camper has a propane stove, and propane can get a little bit expensive. So I'm thinking about getting that, which would be electric. And also like a dual burner, like countertop, dual burner, electric, like stovetop. That way I'll be cooking like with all electric and not using the propane stove. Even though the camper is a 2008, the stove has never even been lit. So it's never been cooked on top of or in the little oven. So that's pretty neat. So that'll be nice. But I think that little, I forget, it's called like a 12-in-1 grill and something, I don't know. But it's Power XL, and I really like it. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how long I'm going to wait before I make the purchase. Obviously not too long, because I'm so afraid. I'm always afraid that something's going to like sell out, and then I'm going to be in a big mess if I don't jump on it. So even though it's probably going to be a couple months before we actually get moved out onto the property, I still feel like I need to make a decision fairly quickly on that. Okay, now I'm going to use 59, and I'm going to go in and do this little bush here. Well, I say little bush. It's not a little bush, is it? But 59 is going to be a little lighter than the grass green. This is like pale green, I believe. And so there'll be a difference in those two greens so they don't completely just run together. There's a lot of green in this picture, huh? But I really did like this one, so I decided to go with it. And I think I'm going to use the chisel. Things just go much faster. I love how the grayscale just coming right through, so that's really good. Again, just trying to stay with, the lighter green so I don't wash out this grayscale. I went to Sam's Club yesterday too. Yay. I tell you what, they had a deal back at Christmas time where if you paid $45 for a membership, when you went to pick up your card, you did this online, and then when you went to pick up your card, you got a $45 gift card for Sam's. So it basically turned into a free membership at Sam's for a year. So I did it. But I tell you what, every time I go in there, I spend more money than I want to. But I have fallen in love with, they have this shrimp that you can buy inside there. And it's huge, 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 huge shrimp. They're like big jumbo shrimp. And I am just loving it. So I went and got another big bag of shrimp yesterday. Okay, this is 48, which is yellow green. I'm going to do the grass, this color. So what I did the other day when I made it, and I don't have any more like crab boil. I'm going to have to get some. But, it's like the Zatarain's crab shrimp boil. And I just put it in there and let it boil and get some of the flavors over in it. And I could probably figure out a way to season it, without these boil bags. But it was really super good. And I ate on it for like 3 days. So shrimp is my favorite. One of my favorites. I really like shrimp scampi. But doing the shrimp boil was good too. So I'll figure out how I want to cook those. Cook those up, and I'll be eating those probably sometime this week. I think Gary's working several days this week. I believe he's working the next like 4 days. I think what it's going to be is kind of like a 24 today, a 12 on Wednesday, a 12 on Thursday, and then a 24 on Friday. So yeah, that's a lot. And then I think this weekend he's going to be gone doing a lot of things that needs to get accomplished down at his hunting property. They actually lost the lease on that land after all that hard work he put in last year and everything, and they pretty much lost the lease. So he's working on getting all of his personal belongings and things off of that property. And he has to have it off by like April. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit stressful around here for the next little while. But we'll get it all accomplished. All right, let's go do the tree. I just wanted to get the greenery out of the way. Oh, I'm going to have to make sure I do that rose in her hair too. I just looked up and realized, oh, I missed the rose in her hair. All right, so I think I'll start here. Just wanted to look for a good place to start, so hopefully I would be able to do a smooth transition between all the lines and things. Because when you're using your alcohol markers, if you let an area dry, that's when you end up with those lines and streaks and things. If you don't come right in and keep the area that you're coloring in wet with the ink. So I thought that looked like a good starting point. And if you're ever coloring and it's taken a little while on a certain area, you can always go up and all you have to do is just basically touch the line and it will keep it, wet. Just keep it damp while you're progressing through an area. Thank you guys so much for all the support you showed me from the last coloring chats. I was pretty frustrated because it's just, I didn't know what I could say and couldn't say, and I still don't know what I can and can't say anymore. So, yeah, I think it's just a confusing time. But many of you showed support, and I appreciate that so much. Oh, my paper slipped there. The page just kind of slipped. All right, we'll zoom out and look and see where we're standing with all the grayscale as this dries when I finish this area. So what kind of plans do you have going on this week? What's going on in your world? Kind of giving you a little overview of what's going on in mine. It's gonna be an interesting next several months, that's for sure. Trying to look at it as an adventure. I'm hoping that when it comes time to start moving things that my back holds up okay and my hips and everything, because I've been having a lot of problems with my back and my hips and my knees lately. I have back issues from some car accidents and things, and then my knees and my hips. Well, my hip also really got exasperated. Let me move this so you guys can see. In a car accident. And my 3 pregnancies was really bad on my hips. I'm sure it didn't help softball injuries, but softball injuries really messed up my ankles, my knees from growing up, playing softball all through my adolescence and teen years. And so, yeah, and I'm paying the price for it now. So I don't know. Well, I'm just hoping that because moving here was really hard on me, and that was a few years ago. So I don't really know how this is going to work out. Having to move all over again. But we will see. I'm sure it'll all work out. Let me go ahead and, while this is drying, I want to go ahead and do the rose that's in her hair. And we used 12 for the roses, which was coral red. There. All right, so let's see where we're at here. All right, so see how you can see all the grayscale coming through? Worked out. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, I don't really know what to do. This looks like shadowy grass coming up, and these even look like leaves, but they almost look more like shadows. I don't know. Maybe I'll use that 42 on them, and hopefully it doesn't look too weird. Because I didn't know if I should just do the background like over that. But it really does look like it intends it to be like a grassy type plant or whatever coming up. And then those definitely look like leaves on the tree. So let's go ahead and try to color that. You know, they almost look like kind of shadowy in the background almost. So really wasn't sure what to do with it. But we did that, so we'll see how it looks in the end. I'm going to use that grass green that I used here to do these leaves, just so they're a little lighter than the green that was there. And it might be difficult to get my background around these lines, so I don't know. If the background ends up covering it, I'm not even going to worry over it. Okay. All right, so that gets all of the greenery done. So let me put the markers up that we've been working with. Well, if I can get them to go in. And let's see what I want to do her skin next, I think. I'm going to look for my skin tone swatches here. I don't know if 306 is going to be too dark. It may be, but I think it's a pretty color, and I'm going to try to use it and see what happens. So let's come in a little bit so we can all see a little better. It is a darker skin tone, like a deep tan, or maybe maybe a Latino color. Actually, I think it just kind of looks more tan. What do you guys think? We'll let that dry and see what that looks like. I was concerned if it was going to be a little dark, but I think it's perfect. Hopefully. But I wanted her to have a little more color in her skin. I thought it would look really nice. So, what do you guys think about Meghan and Prince Harry and their Oprah interview? I have not watched the interview. I think I might try to YouTube it, see if I can find it so I can watch it, but I've been seeing a lot of opinions, and it almost sounds like the court of public opinion is turning against Meghan. So, I don't know. I was just curious if you guys had any opinions on that. I'm going to try to watch that interview myself so I can see what the hoopla is all about. But it seemed like the court of public opinion was totally against her yesterday. So I'm anxious to see what it was that got said in that interview that seems to have everybody up in arms right now. Get this little lady's toes colored. There. Okay. Alrighty then. What do I want to do with this dress? Let me think on this dress for just a minute. Let me see. She could probably have a pink dress, maybe. Maybe a pastel rose would be pretty. That's number 7. So let's see what happens. I'll get you guys in a little closer if you want to see better. All right. I think her skin's turning out really nice with the grayscale. It's going to do her dress. I'm doing it, Shayna. I'm switching. Shayna's onto something about using these chisels. I just don't have as great of control with my chisel, and it makes me nervous using it, but it sure does cover areas much more quickly. Okay. Alrighty. Once I get this picture completed, I'll be sure to also put it on Instagram and Ava Brown's Facebook page also. And there'll be links down in the description of the video to the Spree 128 markers that I've used here today, as well as links to this Lovely Dresses book on Amazon. And in the description, as always, all the links, Color Reveal and Color with Donna related, are down in the description. My email address is also there if anybody ever would like to contact me. So those are there. Okay. I'll go in with some darker color for for like the ribs, the little ends of these. I thought about doing all the ruffles different colors, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'll just stick to the same color for the dress. And also anyone who would like to share their images that they've colored this month with the community, if you'll get those emailed to me, just send me your pictures and we'll put them in my finished pictures of the month video. Currently, it looks like Melissa is going to it's going to be the Donna and Melissa show, because Melissa has sent me pictures, but I haven't gotten pictures from anyone else as of yet this month. So be sure to send me your pictures. Other people love to see them, and I love to see them and share them out. All right, let's see if I can manage to stay in these lines and use this chisel. I'm wanting to get a streaming schedule back on track also, so I can start streaming with you guys. I don't know if it's smart to do all that right before I start this big move or not, but I at least want to stream and hang out with you guys. It's been a while and I miss you. Okay, now let's get this part here. I'm expecting a package today from overseas. So it was supposed to be here yesterday, and DHL delivered it. And since no one came to the door, I guess my mother-in-law didn't hear them or whatever, they took it back. So apparently with DHL, anything that comes from overseas must be signed for. And we were off looking at the camper, so I wasn't here, so it didn't get delivered. But it's a book that's coming from, I believe it's shipped from Poland. I believe that's what I read on the little DHL tracking. And I got 2 books yesterday from France, along with this book that Ava Brown had sent. I'll be making a video of these books that I'll be using. I've been trying to kind of wait until they got here, even if, I had colored in some of the books, but I might need to just go ahead and show them and go ahead and get that filmed. Okay, almost done with the pastel rose. I think some sets used to call number 7 Cosmos. And that's what this one is number 7. But this one calls it Pastel Rose. But for some reason, I'm thinking some sets it's Cosmos. Or at least sets that I had in the past has been done that, like my older sets. It was always one of my favorite pinks. So, okay. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot. Now let me see. I think I'll do 16, which is the coral pink, I think. Yeah, coral pink. And we'll see how that does on these little areas like this. Like these little the bottoms of these ruffles. Okay, let's get these. And when we get this done, we'll pull out so we can see the colors better with the grayscale. Okay, almost there. Down so you guys can see what we're doing. All right, we just need to do this a little bit right here. I think I may do her little sandals in the same red color that we did the roses, because she does have the rose in her hair, and I think maybe doing the sandal that color between the rose in her hair and the rose bush, I think that'll bring it all together nicely. Most of you know I kind of prefer a limited palette on most pictures. I think that works out nicely. Okay, so that was 12, right? For the roses. Yep, coral red. Coral red instead of coral pink. All right, and her lips. I think I'm going to make her lips rose pink, which is 8. Hopefully that's not too much. Okay. All right, now let's see for hair. What do I want to do for her hair? I think I'm going to go with a skin tone set and use 328. And this is the Artex Out Markers skin tone set. the Artex. And I'll leave a link to these in the description too, if I don't forget. So be sure to check the description for all the links. I definitely appreciate all your support. When you use my links to shop at Amazon, I do get a few cents for anything you purchase while shopping through one of my links. So it definitely helps me out. Thank you so much. And also, even if you're really not going to shop at Amazon at the moment, but might shop in the future, anytime you watch a video, if you'll just click on one of my links and just go visit Amazon, I would still appreciate that, because Amazon does track whose links people go through. You know, they can see that, and I'll get credit for driving traffic to Amazon, which is also very helpful. You know, that almost reminds me of Angelina Jolie. I was just looking at it when I did the hair color, and I looked, and that was the first thought that kind of came to my mind, was Angelina Jolie. Okay, let's do BG1 for the clouds. If I can find my BG1. There it is. So we'll do our clouds with BG1. Okay. I think BG1 works really nicely as a cloud blue. I do. Okay, let's do this cloud here. All right, so our clouds are done. Now the only thing left is our sky. I think I'm going to go in with royal blue, which is number 70. Of course, if I can find it, kind of thing, you know. There it is. Okay. Sip my Coke. My Diet Coke. Okay. All right. So let's try to stay in the lines here, Donna. I wasn't as worried doing the clouds because I knew I would come in with something darker, so. But this blue is so dark, I definitely don't want to. I want to do my best to try to stay within the color area on this. So it's hard for me to concentrate and try to talk. There. Okay. I've never really had a problem with talking and coloring, except when I get into areas that I'm having to put a lot of concentration in to try to stay in the lines, and that's where I usually have a problem trying to chat while I color. Okay, got that. All right. Oh, sorry. Well, I guess you guys didn't even know. I guess I'm apologizing to my phone. I had my legs crossed and I went to uncross my legs and it pulled my microphone, which almost pulled my phone over. So I was apologizing to my phone, I guess. Okay. I feel like I'm at a really funny angle. All right, let's get this colored in now. All right. Woo. Section 2, done. If you guys are still here, you are true blue, through and through. Because this is the really boring part for you guys, because it's the part where I have to seriously concentrate. Okay. Let me try to get up in this little area. Normally, I would have used one of my markers out of sets that markers have went bad on, have ran out of ink on for the background, but I forgot to pull one out before we started filming. So I'm using one of the sprees, but I have a large box that I keep marker sets in, like when some of the markers start to run out of ink, I will just like dump the remainder of the markers over into this big box. And then whenever I'm coloring and I need to have like a really large area, background or whatnot, I'll go and get one of those markers to try to save ink in the full sets that I do have. And that works out really well. So okay. Almost done with this little section here. Then we can move on to the big section. And then we'll be finished. And then I'll talk to you guys for a second before we go. All right. Okay, here we go. Sounds like my pups are getting restless and starting to want back into the room also, so. They've been out for a couple hours now. If the weather's nice anytime I record, I try to put them outside, so. Okay, I think I'm going to go to the small end to get up in this little area here because I'm not sure I could have controlled that through there. You know what? I think I'm just going to go over these leaves, these little tiny leaves that I colored in, because it's going to be super hard to get those in there, or to get the ink all the way around them. And it looks like they're going to kind of still show through, so that's good. I think that's kind of how it was intended, was to be more like a shadow. Ooh. Okay. Almost there, guys. Almost there. All right. And we're done. There she is. I think she is gorgeous. I really do. If you guys made it this far, leave me a comment. Say pickles. just so I know that you made it this far. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I know I was quiet a lot. I've got to work on chatting some more and some topics and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. Like I said, links will be in the description to the products, the book and the products that you saw used here today, as well as all links Coloritaville. Please save, bookmark my Amazon link, shop through it, help support me here at in Coloritaville. It's so much help and I appreciate it so much. Thank you all to my new subscribers and my not so new subscribers just as much. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Until next time, peace, love, and happy coloring. Bye, guys.